joining this live if it is very late. Um, but I'm up doing some other stuff, and I decided to go ahead and go live and just discuss very briefly this whole situation with the comments that Destiny, the, the disgust, I can't even say it correctly. The troubling comment that Destiny made on um, the reunion stage, right? So I first want to say that um, the copyright disclaimer under Copyright Act 1976 allows me to use content for fair use, for criticism, comment, as well as my opinion. And I'm going to give it to you. There's times when I'm watching stuff like this and I really am going off in my head. And then I come and I record and I'm trying to be so politically correct, right? But this has just been weighing on me. And of course, there are amazing content creators out there who are making content and have been making content in regards to love and marriage, Huntsville. Um, there's just a couple of things that really, really bother me. First, when I watch the that section back, well, first, what do you gain? Like, in my opinion, on network, you're at the top. Why did you even release that? Who is your PR person? Who is your legal person? And I did see on another live that someone, of course, Oprah Winfrey, Oprah Winfrey only owns 5% of OWN now. I want to say that it was either latter last year or this year that was supposed to be up for review. But this is the problem, right? So, she only owns 5%, but it's still the Oprah Winfrey Network. And it still is affiliated with her brand and her image. And um, so I'm really, really shocked that the network would allow that to go out. Um, I just don't understand it. Like, I just don't understand it. Um, so I say that to say, that I know that Melody Cherie Rogers is very smart. Um, she, it's sad that something that someone created of their own is now the thing that gives them the most pain. And so I feel extremely bad for her in that area. But I'm also happy that she has decided to move on. I froze I paused it on this part of the video or the reunion because that look says it all. She's like, I'm tired of this. I'm sick of this. Okay. All right. So let me just get into my thoughts. I don't want to stay on here too long. It is very late. So on network, you got some explaining to do. Okay. And I really, really do pray that uh, Melody goes the full, pushes this to the fullest limit. The production company under OWN that produces this show has a serious, serious, serious problem and issue. And that problem is something that tears the house down. Like, it's one thing, I think, to have a problematic producer, right? You can get rid of that producer. Or let's say to have issues with getting people to film. We've seen that, they've let go of people like Destiny, which, they spoke about on the reunion when they didn't want to share their truth. They didn't want to share their lives, right? And so you see that as well. But when you have an integrity issue, in my opinion, this is my opinion, when you have an issue in the current day of an integrity issue, or when, you are, when there's a level of manipulation that just doesn't even make sense. It's problematic, and it's problematic from its core. And that's what's so bad about it. When you say, how could this change? How can this change? Well, to be honest with you, um, it's gonna be hard to change. So let me just go through my thoughts as far as the cast members and really briefly their issues with Mel. So you have Chris Fletcher and Nell Fletcher, right? We saw Nell saying, "Look, my mother was sick; she was dying." Chris wants to. Well, no, she didn't say it. Chris said it, and so it's Chris was from his own admission back in the day having women to sign NDAs, to not speak on their relationship. And I'm like, why would you have somebody sign an NDA back in the day? Like, you were on TV, and when was back in the day? Because sometimes people say back in the day, and it's like a year ago. So um, I think he harbors some feelings towards her about that. But it's still confusing to me how Mel is held accountable for everything. So I think that relationship is done. Okay. Mel is not from Huntsville. And all of these individuals really were Martell's friends initially. And so I guess now that I think about it, that's where the loyalty lies. This woman gave all of them an opportunity. And I've said in another video, I've yet to hear them say thank you. So, Tisha and Marceau, they just love the salaciousness of whatever Destiny's saying. It's crazy. I mean, to be honest with you, even their expression or when Destiny's made the statements that she did shows that this was something that they didn't even, like what? I can't believe she's even saying that, right? So, that's one thing. Maurice and Kimmy, they're just glad that somebody's tearing her down. So this is the thing. I think that the telltale thing for me was when Destiny was sitting on the stage and she was just laughing. She found it so entertaining to see Melody's reaction to what she was saying. Now, um, there's different takes. Kim Power has a really good video, and I don't want to take his content, but if you want to hear thoroughly what she said, then you can go to Kim Power's social media. He did a short on it. But the short end of it is that Destiny basically says that although Martell and Melody did not explicitly request that she join them in the bedroom, there was a lot of conversation about threesomes, right? And this is the thing, and she says so that was she feels like that was grooming. Now, for me, women of my age, of Destiny's age, which is, you know, up in the air because she told Miss Nell, I never told you I was 42. But women of a certain age don't use, in my opinion, the word grooming. I feel like grooming is, something that is used when someone is a lot younger and they're being exposed to things that maybe they've never been exposed to, right? So, I may say, girl, they was trying to get freaky. They wanted me in the bed with them, or, girl, I don't go that way, but they kept trying to, push me towards, getting with Mel and, you know, I mean, I just don't see grooming coming out of my mouth at my age because I feel like I have enough agency over my own body and my own mindset to say I'm not interested in keeping moving. So I think it is something that someone, in my opinion, that word was given to her. That word was, and it's such a heavy trigger word that when you say it, regardless of what you say before it and after it, the grooming is going to stick, right? What I can't understand is, let's think about this logically. So Destiny says, look, I was at your house, I slept over your house, and I was nervous. But the whole time she's smiling. See, when I talk about my trauma, I'm not smiling. When I talk about what I dealt with in the military, I'm not smiling. And if I do have a slight semblance of a smile of some sort, it's probably because I'm trying to hold back tears and say, girl, you're stronger than still crying over this, right? You're stronger than still being triggered by it. So she got so much glee, Destiny did, out of seeing Melody's reaction. And I think she got a lot of glee out of seeing that it hit a nerve. But this is the weird thing, right? So she's making it seem like Mel was making sure that Martell got her in their bed. She's making it seem like Mel was a ringleader. She never turned towards Martell to say, you did, yes, you did. It was all directed at Melody, all of it. And that is so freaking weird. And if nothing else shows you how far people will go to bring you down, this should. Because it's not about Martell, even though she included Martell in the story. But see, this is the thing. It doesn't matter if she included Martell because they know that they're not letting Martell go anywhere. They know that Martell can let something stick, can brush that off. And initially Martell said, well, whatever Destiny say. When Carlos asked him, what do you think about what Destiny just said? She said, what? He said, well, whatever Destiny say, which was weird because Destiny is saying that you're a part of it too, bruh. Destiny saying that you was a part of it too. So you still gonna ride with whatever Destiny say, and Destiny throwing you under the bus too. And there's nothing worse than somebody not having anything to lose. And in my opinion, Destiny doesn't have much to lose. So she's gonna come out saying whatever she needs to say. So I'm gonna play it, you guys. Hold on just a second. Whatever that's gonna say. No, honestly, no. So did it happen? Did y'all start having sex in the room with her in the bed? Honestly? And she woke up and said, I know y'all not. Mm. Oh, God, we forget, so I believe you know this. Mm. I don't remember nothing like that happening. Okay, but the thing is this. And I'm actually taking her back. But the thing is that when you made that comment on camera, and I want to make sure that if y'all all disagree, then let me know. But it appeared that these two requested a threesome with you specifically. There were conversations, there were situations where it is grooming. For you to have those type of open conversations with people consistently is grooming. You asking me to spend the night at your house multiple times. Now you've been witness to that. You can stay over, stay over, stay over. Like, well, you need to get your ass up and go home. There was many nights, me, you, Mel, Chris, was up talking outside, having a good time, and who didn't want to go? Nope, you didn't want to go. And you didn't want to go. And you have spent the night at my house. Like, so what? You were not. Well, what the hell was you doing? I don't get up here and like I'm terrified to touch you. I never came. I never done that. But you were not like you weren't going around trying to have threesomes with your husband. You're lying. You're not. Never. Remember, you know what? Did you not get on your knees and cry on the back of the limo on your 10-year anniversary? So that's basically the crux of it. But what really irritates me is how these people on this show continuously try to throw up in Mel's face things that she's done when they were married. That was her husband. I don't care what Mel did. Mel could have turned around, backed it up on the back of the backyard in the middle of the night with the goddamn stars in the sky and the dogs barking. Guess what? That's her husband. Okay? That's her husband. And then this whole thing about going around the town of Huntsville trying to find someone to have a threesome with her and her husband. And look, let me tell you something. I can't say what people will and won't do, but I can tell you that I don't believe this. Only because look at this woman. Mel is a beautiful woman, period. Okay. Martell, as much as he is as a personality, he is a handsome man. He is an attractive man. So you really think that they had a hard time, if they were trying to get people or a person in their bedroom, they would have had a hard time getting someone in their bedroom? The other thing is her having the audacity to say she stayed at their house, but she was nervous. See, this is when you can't help folk out. This is when, this is when you need to be careful about who the heck you entertain, and you need to check, vet again, and then triple check the Mickey flicks that your partner or spouse brings up into y'all's relationship. Let me just go and keep it 100 and stop trying to be nice about it. Y'all need to stop letting these partners and spouses bring people up into y'all's marriage that you don't know a dang thing about. Because for real, in my opinion, it's giving something that is kind of loose up in the head. And baby, that's not somebody you need up in your house. More than likely, more than likely, in my opinion, it could have been that Destiny had been drinking, and to make sure that she was safe, they said, look, you don't have to drive home. You can stay here, sleep it off, and leave in the morning. That's what anybody who wants to make sure that you're safe, make sure that you're not drinking and driving. That's what people who have any type of consideration about you will do, dum dum. That's what they will do, silly. That's what they will do. So the fact that no matter what was done, is always being flipped onto Melody is absolutely asinine. The fact that all of that red lip was directed towards Mel to try to break her down, bring her down, hurt her brand, bring people into question about how what type of woman she is trifling is all get out. And on network, you should be ashamed of yourself. Kingdom Reign Productions or whatever you call yourself, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you did not like, what you did like. Let me tell you something. Everybody on this show is grown. Okay? They are grown as heck. And this is the thing that I really am pissed off about. First and foremost, you had people, these folks had to sign contracts. Yes. These people had to read over contracts. Yes. That means they were grown enough to get into a contractual obligation with OWN and the production company. Correct? Yes. So then that means that they're grown enough to say no if they want to. See, this is the other thing I can't understand. So Melody could not tell a certain person no about them being her um, media manager or her manager for other television appearances or tours or all of that kind of stuff, wherever that was that this other person wanted to be for her. She can't tell that individual no and they not take it personal and then set up workplace retaliation. But Tisha and Marceau can say no to filming their separation. Kimmy and Maurice can say no to filming about the DUI. Destiny can say no to filming anything about her reality, well, about her life until now. And then the thing about it is, let's keep it a buck. For real, Destiny didn't come on here spilling no tea about her personal life. She did not. The only thing Destiny came on this season and did was play her role in a child in the whole Moses and Sonny of it. That's it. We still didn't get to see really nothing about her personal life. We knew that her and Moses had been together before. So my thing is, if you're over Moses and you're dating someone else, we should be able to see that. So what did Destiny really bring new this season? What did she bring new? This was absolutely abhorrent. This is not reality TV. This is a televised takedown. And just to put a pin in it because I know I've already went over my time. The other thing that bothers me is that no one on that stage said a word. Now, let me be clear about something. Chris Fletcher sat over there with his dang brows, his eyebrows went up. Y'all are so disgusting, in my opinion. Try. How could two individuals or an individual be a mentor to another couple, right? And be so offended by the fact that okay, let me just keep it clear. Nell is so offended that Mel did not see her as her mentor, right? You spent countless hours, correct, Miss Nell? Now, Miss Nell did say, I told you to get your butt up and go home. Destiny started laughing. She started laughing. I've got a feeling they knew that Destiny was going to tell a lie. And I think that that may be why Miss Nail said, I'm going to have to get to know Destiny a little bit better. Because if you'll sink that low, if you go that low with it, if you're willing to do that, then I don't know who. I don't know what else you would do. I don't know what else you would do. And so I need to get to know you better. I don't understand what they gain. Because even my I look, there are some things that are right and some things that are wrong. I'll say, there are people. Look, I could never sit on a stage and watch somebody's whole character be ripped apart like that just because it's a fun sport. And as a host of a show, I could not, in my opinion, sit there with my index card over my face laughing and gagging. See, this is still a show. I'm so sick of this crap. And I'm gonna tell you what else I realized too. I realized that actually when they are on hiatus or when they're filming the new season, but the old season has wrapped up, this whole social media crash out crap, all of that is to get y'all to come right on back for the next season, right? The social media crash out with the interview and the side chick and all this other stuff. All of that in the interim is the recipe or the formula that they use to get y'all to come back and watch the new season. Why? Because we want to see what's going to happen with Martell and Marceau now that they've had that. We've already seen they done dapped it up and kept on moving. These folks will do anything to keep a check. I am from the South. And when I look at the way that those adults behave on the set on the stage, I am embarrassed, completely embarrassed. Martell acts like a friggin' child. He is so friggin' um adolescent in his behavior, in my opinion. Maurice and Kimmy. Kimmy is holding a grudge because her man said wow when Melody came out on stage. And from that point on, she was done, 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 done. She was ready to try to tear this woman down every which way but loose. Tisha and Marceau, they just want to, I think that Tisha just wants to crack that outer shell of Mel. We want to, that basically, Tisha, in my opinion, wants there to be some cracks seen in Melody's exterior. I don't think she wants to break her down. She wants to her have some cracks because in her eyes, from my perspective, in my opinion, I think she thinks that people see Melody as perfect, and she wants us to see Mel with some cracks in her. See what I'm saying? Now, Nell and Chris, I actually feel like Nell is a little hurt that her and Melody are not as close as they used to be. That's what I think. And I also feel, in my opinion, that Nell is upset that Mel didn't stay and fight for her marriage. But the one thing you can't do is you can't fight for a marriage when that third person ain't going nowhere. Not if that's not what you want. So um, the whole oopsie of own demand and Philo still sharing the full section of that reunion with what I just shared with you is reckless, unprofessional, irresponsible, and um, should have some litigation behind it. Um, I've just never seen nothing like this. This is not reality TV, y'all. Nobody on that stage is held accountable. Um, and probably the worst mistake Mel made was um, presenting these couples that are all. She presented two couples that are brothers, and I think she thought by bringing Neil and Chris or Tiffany and Big Lou that it would kind of dilute that synergy. But it only just Neil and Chris just made it worse. But we know why, Chris. We know why, right? So just let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think I'm sorry, Mel's next move should be? And where do we go from here? I mean, because look, Love and Marriage Huntsville obviously is great content for those content creators who um, report on it on a consistent basis. Now, this just got under my skin so bad I had to do this video, but I mean, where do we go from here? I would definitely love to continue to support Mel, but I'm not interested in the show. But I do feel like because of the um, benefits of reviewing the show, content creators will still review it. I feel like we need to get out of this group chat. Get out of this group chat because this is not benefiting anyone. It's toxic, it's negative. There's never any resolution, there's never any solutions. And you got a leader who sits over there and just loves to gag on some of the dumbest crap that is slander, for one. Um, and so, and isn't thinking from a legal standpoint. Hmm. So, where do we go from here? Y'all let me know in the comment section. So sad. So sad what a person will do to bring someone down that gave them an opportunity and a check. So sad what someone will do just to have a moment. I hope Mel does what she needs to do. All right, guys, until next time, God bless and thank you for tuning in on this late night or if you're watching this on replay.